Everything we consume carries energy. The food, the drinks, even the thoughts we allow into our mind. When we grow older, the body speaks louder. It reminds us that strength and vitality must be cultivated with care, with awareness, and with consistency. Today, I want to share with you a very simple practice, one that requires no heavy effort, no difficult posture. It is about tea. The right tea, taken mindfully, can help seniors not only restore energy, but also strengthen the legs which carry us through life. Because when the legs are strong, the spirit feels grounded, and the path ahead becomes lighter. When we talk about strength in life, very often people think about the muscles in the arms, the back, or even the chest. But when you look closely at the natural flow of human life, you will notice that it is always the legs that carry us forward. From the very first steps of a child until the very last walk in old age, the legs are the foundation. And like every foundation, when it is strong, the structure above remains steady, but when it weakens, everything built upon it begins to shake. For seniors, the importance of strong legs cannot be overstated. The legs are not only muscles and bones, they represent freedom. They represent independence. When the legs are strong, a person can move without fear, without hesitation. They can climb stairs, walk in nature, stand up without effort, and participate in the daily rhythms of life. But when the legs weaken, life becomes smaller. A person begins to avoid activities, to feel uncertain, and slowly their world shrinks, not because the heart or the mind does not wish to move, but because the body no longer responds with confidence. Strength in the legs is also closely connected with balance. Imagine the image of a great tree. Its branches can only stretch wide and high because the roots are deep and stable. In the same way, when the legs of a senior remain firm, the body feels stable, the mind feels safe, and the spirit feels supported. But if the legs tremble and lose their strength, even the smallest stone on the path can become a danger, and even a short walk can feel like a challenge. So when we speak about longevity, about living not only a long life, but also a good life, we must place attention on the legs. Strong legs help protect the bones. They reduce the risk of falls. They keep the blood circulating, and they give energy to the entire system. In Chinese medicine and in many traditions of wisdom, the legs are seen as the pillars of vitality. They connect us to the earth, and they allow the energy of the body to flow without obstruction. Now, how do the legs stay strong as we grow older? It is not only by exercise. Of course, walking, stretching, and gentle movement are essential, but the nourishment that we give to the body also plays a role. The food we eat and the drinks we choose directly influence the quality of our muscles, our joints, and our energy. Here, tea becomes a subtle but powerful helper. Unlike heavy supplements or strong medicines, tea works in harmony with the body. It supports circulation, reduces inflammation in the joints, and provides gentle stimulation to the muscles. Over time, these small effects accumulate, and they help preserve the strength in the legs. Strong legs also carry another meaning. They carry the meaning of dignity. When a senior can stand upright, when they can walk without assistance, they maintain not only their physical independence, but also their inner confidence. The ability to move freely is deeply connected to the spirit. If you can stand, you can face the world. If you can walk, you can still journey, both in the outer world and within yourself. It is easy to forget this when we are young, because the legs obey us without effort. We run, we jump, we climb, and we rarely think about the gift of movement. But when age comes, the awareness grows. Every step is precious. Every movement is a treasure. This is why it is so important to care for the legs early and to continue supporting them in the later stages of life. Strong legs also protect the heart and the mind. When you walk, the rhythm of the steps calms the thoughts. When the blood flows well through the legs, the heart is supported, and the entire body receives nourishment. In this way, the strength of the legs extends far beyond the muscles themselves. It influences the quality of sleep, the sharpness of the mind, and the energy available throughout the day. So when we speak about longevity, we are not speaking only about counting years. Longevity means living those years with the ability to move, to enjoy, to participate. A long life without movement is a life that becomes confined. But a long life with strong legs is a life where every day can still carry new experiences, new encounters, and new growth. Therefore, seniors should not neglect this foundation. The legs are not simply for walking. They are the roots of independence, the guardians of freedom, and the carriers of vitality. And through mindful choices, through the food we eat, the drinks we take, and the movements we practice, we can continue to keep this foundation strong. When the legs are strong, you will notice that the spirit also feels lighter. There is less fear, less hesitation. A person who trusts their legs walks with dignity. A person who feels stable within themselves naturally feels more connected with life. This is the deep connection between leg strength and longevity. It is not only the physical body that benefits, but also the mental clarity and the emotional confidence. So when we take a simple cup of tea, let us not see it as just a drink. Let us see it as one part of the great practice of maintaining our foundation. With every sip, we nourish not only the muscles of the legs, but also the spirit of independence that carries us through life. And when the legs are steady, every step we take can be filled with strength, energy, and gratitude. In the old traditions of many cultures, tea was never seen as a simple drink. It was considered medicine, a bridge between nature and the human body, a way to bring balance when the body or the mind drifted out of harmony. Today, when we speak of tea, many people think of taste, aroma, or even the habit of drinking it after a meal. But if you go deeper, if you look at tea with mindful eyes, you begin to see that each leaf carries the wisdom of the earth, the nourishment of the soil, the energy of the sun, and the cleansing power of water. All of this enters your body with a sip, and if you drink it with awareness, you feel it is not just liquid, it is life. For seniors, this idea becomes even more meaningful. The body changes with time. What was once effortless begins to require more energy. The systems of digestion, circulation, and metabolism slow down. The joints may become stiffer, and the muscles may not respond as quickly as before. In this stage of life, medicine is often seen as the solution: tablets for pain, pills for blood pressure, supplements for energy. But sometimes, what is truly needed is not something strong and artificial, but something gentle, something natural that works with the body rather than against it. Tea, when chosen with care, provides exactly this kind of support. Think about what tea does at the simplest level. It warms the body. A warm drink encourages the blood to flow. It relaxes the stomach and it calms the nervous system. For seniors, this warmth can be like a quiet medicine that softens tension and awakens circulation. Beyond warmth, certain teas contain antioxidants, polyphenols, and compounds that reduce inflammation in the joints and muscles. Others are rich in minerals that support the bones and maintain hydration in the body. Unlike strong stimulants that push the body unnaturally, tea works softly, allowing energy to rise without creating imbalance. This is why in many ancient cultures, tea was considered a tonic for longevity. The monks of China, for example, drank tea before meditation. Why? Because the tea gave them clarity without restlessness, focus without tension. In the same way, seniors can drink tea to nourish the body and keep the mind awake, but without the side effects of modern energy drinks or coffee, which may burden the heart. There is also another layer. Medicine, in its true form, is not only what heals the body, but what heals the spirit. A senior who sits quietly with a warm cup of tea, breathing slowly, feeling the aroma, tasting the earth and the leaves, this is already healing. It is medicine for the heart. It brings stillness, reduces anxiety, and creates a moment of peace in a world that often feels too fast. This mindful practice alone can lower stress, improve digestion, and calm the nervous system. So, tea is not only medicine for the body, but also for the inner being. When we compare tea to modern medicine, there is a difference in philosophy. Modern medicine often treats symptoms. It pushes the body in one direction, sometimes at the cost of another. For example, a pill for energy may stimulate, but later cause fatigue. A pill for sleep may calm, but then bring heaviness. Tea, on the other hand, works with the natural rhythms of the body. It does not force, it supports. It does not control, it harmonizes. This is why it is so suitable for seniors who need gentle support rather than aggressive intervention. Tea also has a cleansing quality. Many teas act as natural detoxifiers, helping the liver, kidneys, and digestive system to remove waste more efficiently. For seniors, this is important because as the body ages, it tends to accumulate toxins more easily. A simple daily practice of drinking the right tea can keep the system lighter, reduce bloating, and bring a sense of freshness to the body. When the body is lighter, the legs move more freely, the joints ache less, and the spirit feels younger. Let us not forget hydration. Many seniors, without realizing, drink too little water. Dehydration is one of the hidden reasons behind fatigue, dizziness, and weakness in old age. Tea, with its gentle taste and warmth, encourages regular drinking. And when hydration is consistent, the blood flows more smoothly, the skin remains healthier, and the muscles work with less strain. Something as simple as tea can prevent conditions that are otherwise blamed on aging. But the true medicine of tea lies in the way it combines body and mind. Imagine a senior waking up in the morning. Instead of rushing to swallow pills or searching for coffee, they sit by the window, they watch the sunlight, they boil water slowly, and they prepare their tea with presence. Already, the day begins in balance. The warmth enters the stomach, the aroma enters the mind, the taste awakens the senses, and the body feels alive. This small ritual has the power to set the tone for the entire day. This is why tea, when approached mindfully, becomes not just a drink, not just medicine, but a practice of harmony. Of course, not all teas are the same. Some energize, some relax, some support the joints, others calm the stomach. This diversity itself is part of the medicine. For every state of the body, nature has created a leaf. For fatigue, there's one tea. For digestion, another. For sleep, another still. By learning to listen to the body and choosing the right tea, a senior can begin to self-heal in a natural, balanced way. To drink tea is to remind ourselves that healing does not always come from outside inventions. Sometimes it comes from the earth, from the simplest gifts, from something as humble as a leaf. When seniors take tea in this way, they reconnect with nature and they realize that the body can still be nourished, supported, and renewed, not by force, but by alignment. So when we speak of tea as natural medicine, we are not speaking about an alternative or a replacement. We are speaking about remembering a way of living where medicine is not separate from life, a way where food, drink, movement, and thought are all part of healing. And in this way, tea becomes not only a helper for the legs, not only a booster of energy, but a reminder of how to live in balance. Energy is life. Without energy, even the simplest movement feels heavy, and even the brightest day seems dull. But energy is not only about how strong the body feels, it is also about the spirit, the sharpness of the mind, and the willingness of the heart to engage with the world. For seniors, the question of energy becomes central. The body no longer generates the same fire as in youth, and fatigue can appear more easily. But if we learn to care for this inner energy, if we treat it like a flame that must be nurtured instead of consumed, then vitality can continue to shine even in the later stages of life. When people think about boosting energy, they often look for quick solutions. A strong coffee, an energy drink, or sugar. These give a spark, but like paper catching fire, they burn quickly and leave behind emptiness. The body is forced, the heart is strained, and instead of real vitality, there is only a temporary push. This is not sustainable, especially for seniors whose systems are more delicate. The true way of cultivating energy is not through force, but through balance. It is not about pushing the body harder, but supporting it, so that energy flows naturally. Tea has this unique quality. It does not explode like fire, it does not overwhelm like strong stimulants. Instead, it awakens gently. It gives clarity without agitation, energy without exhaustion. This is why in many ancient traditions, tea was chosen not for pleasure alone, but for its ability to sustain alertness and vitality in a balanced way. Monks, scholars, and healers all turned to tea because they understood that true energy must last, and it must not disturb the harmony of the body. For seniors, this kind of gentle, sustainable energy is essential. The body no longer wants to be pushed, it wants to be supported. Imagine the difference between a horse that is whipped to run faster and one that is guided with care, given good food, and allowed to rest properly. The second horse will run longer, with more strength and less injury. In the same way, tea supports the body's natural processes so that energy is renewed rather than borrowed. Vitality is more than just physical stamina. It is also the willingness to move, to participate in life, to wake up in the morning with curiosity rather than with reluctance. When energy is low, even the smallest task feels like a burden. The mind says, why walk? Why talk? Why try? This is how life shrinks. But when energy is present, even in old age, the spirit remains open. A senior with vitality does not stop exploring, does not stop connecting, and does not stop learning. This is what gives life its richness. Tea, as a daily companion, can play a role in maintaining this vitality. Certain teas improve circulation, bringing oxygen and nutrients more efficiently to the muscles and brain. Others support digestion so that the food consumed turns more effectively into usable energy. Some teas gently stimulate the nervous system, keeping the mind awake without causing restlessness. Over time, these effects build a steady foundation of vitality. And the best part is, unlike artificial stimulants, tea works in harmony with rest. It gives energy when you need to be awake, but it does not disturb the natural cycles of sleep. Let us also look at energy from another angle, the balance between yin and yang. In many wisdom traditions, energy is not only about having more, but about having the right kind. Too much stimulation is as harmful as too little. Tea helps to regulate this. For example, green tea provides clarity and lightness, while herbal teas like chamomile bring calmness and restoration. By choosing teas according to the state of the body, seniors can learn to balance their energy, not too high, not too low, but steady and harmonious. Energy is also connected to emotion. When the body feels heavy, emotions often sink. A tired body can lead to sadness, anxiety, or even hopelessness. But when the body feels light and energized, the emotions naturally rise. Tea, by lifting the energy gently, also uplifts the mood. It creates small moments of joy, peace, and clarity. Imagine the simple happiness of holding a warm cup, of breathing in the fragrance, of feeling warmth spread through the chest. These small experiences renew the spirit and remind us that life is still full of beauty. For seniors, one of the challenges of energy is consistency. Some days may feel strong, others weak. The key is to create habits that maintain balance over time. Drinking tea mindfully can be one of those habits. It is not about expecting immediate transformation, but about steady nourishment. A little energy each day built slowly is what leads to vitality that lasts. We must also understand that energy is not only physical fuel, it is deeply connected with the mind. A restless mind consumes energy without even moving the body. Worry, fear, regret. These are like leaks in the system, draining strength from within. Tea, when drunk in silence, helps to calm the mind. It reduces these leaks, conserves energy, and directs it where it is needed most. This is why, after a mindful tea session, one feels not only awake but also calm, a rare combination. Vitality in old age is not about trying to be young again. It is about discovering the strength that is appropriate for this stage of life. It is about moving gracefully, thinking clearly, and living with presence. Tea supports this because it respects the body's rhythm. It does not promise miracles, but it offers a path of steady renewal. With every cup, the body feels a little lighter, the mind feels a little clearer, and the spirit feels a little brighter. So, when we speak of energy levels and vitality, we must see them not as luxuries, but as necessities. They are what allow seniors to continue walking their path with dignity, to keep exploring, and to keep giving their wisdom to the world. And tea, in its quiet way, can be a faithful companion on this journey. When we speak about health, many people separate the body from the mind. They say, this is a physical problem, or this is an emotional issue. But in truth, the body and mind are not two. They are one system, one continuous field of energy. What happens in the body influences the mind, and what happens in the mind reflects in the body. Seniors, more than anyone, begin to see this clearly. A restless mind can bring sleepless nights, which weakens the body. A tired body can create sadness, which lowers the spirit. When the two are disconnected, life feels heavy. But when body and mind are in harmony, there is lightness, clarity, and strength. Tea becomes a beautiful doorway to experience this connection. To prepare and drink tea is not only to hydrate the body, it is to engage the senses, to quiet the thoughts, and to bring awareness back into the present moment. The warmth of the cup against the hands, the rising steam, the fragrance that awakens the nose, the taste that lingers on the tongue, these are all ways the body communicates with the mind. In this simple act, both body and mind are nourished together. For seniors, this connection is especially important. The body with age often begins to complain. There may be pain in the joints, stiffness in the muscles, slower digestion, or weaker circulation. At the same time, the mind may worry. What if I fall? What if my health declines further? What if I become dependent? These thoughts create tension, and the tension makes the body's symptoms even worse. It is a cycle, but through mindful practices such as tea drinking, this cycle can be softened. By focusing on the present, on the sip, on the breath, on the moment, the mind becomes calm and the body feels relief. The mind-body connection is also visible in energy. When the body is nourished with the right tea, circulation improves, muscles feel lighter, and fatigue lessens. This physical ease immediately reflects in the mind. There is more clarity, more optimism, more willingness to move and engage. In the same way, when the mind is peaceful, stress hormones in the body reduce, digestion improves, and the heart beats more steadily. This is why healing must always involve both body and mind together. One cannot truly heal while ignoring the other. Tea has long been used as a tool for meditation. Monks in ancient temples would prepare tea not only to stay awake, but also to anchor the mind in the present. To drink tea slowly is to practice mindfulness. The act of lifting the cup, breathing in the aroma, tasting the liquid, this is meditation in daily life. It teaches us to slow down, to feel, and to connect. For seniors who sometimes feel the rush of the world moving faster than they can follow, this mindful pause can be deeply healing. It reminds them that life is not about speed, but about depth. This connection also strengthens the immune system. Science today confirms what ancient wisdom already knew. Stress weakens the body, calmness strengthens it. When the mind is at peace, the body's defenses are stronger, recovery is quicker, and vitality is preserved. A simple daily ritual of tea can act as a signal to the body. It is safe, it is calm, it is time to heal. Let us also reflect on balance. The body without the mind is like a machine without direction. The mind without the body is like a bird without wings. Together they create harmony. Tea represents this balance beautifully. It is physical nourishment, yet also a spiritual practice. It energizes the body and calms the mind at the same time. This rare balance is what makes it so powerful for seniors who need energy but not overstimulation, calmness but not heaviness. The connection between mind and body also influences movement. When the mind is distracted, movements are unsteady. When the mind is present, movements become precise and safe. This is why mindful tea drinking can also improve the way a senior walks, stands, or exercises. It trains the attention to remain here in this moment rather than drifting into worry. A steady mind creates steady steps, and steady steps mean safety and independence. Tea also helps to bridge the inner world with the outer world. When drinking tea in company, conversation often slows, becomes softer, more meaningful. The mind relaxes, the body feels comfortable, and connection with others deepens. This social aspect is also part of health. A lonely mind weakens the body, but a connected mind strengthens it. For seniors, sharing tea with friends or family can be medicine not only for the individual but for the relationship itself. The true secret of tea and the mind-body connection is simplicity. Healing does not always require complex techniques or expensive treatments. Sometimes it is enough to sit quietly, to breathe deeply, to drink slowly, and to let body and mind meet again in the present moment. This simple practice can reduce stress, improve circulation, ease digestion, and bring peace. In this way, tea becomes more than a drink. It becomes a bridge, a reminder, a practice of wholeness. Seniors who cultivate this awareness discover that the mind and body can still work together beautifully even in later years. The legs may not be as fast as before, the hands may not be as strong, but when the mind supports the body and the body nourishes the mind, life remains full of energy, dignity, and presence. So, when we speak of the mind-body connection, let us remember that it is not something distant or mystical. It is right here in the way we breathe, in the way we move, in the way we drink a cup of tea. To care for one is to care for the other. And when both are in harmony, health is not only maintained but expanded, bringing joy, strength, and clarity to every step of the journey. In the search for health, people often look for complicated solutions. They hear about expensive supplements, rare herbs, or treatments that promise miracles. But when you observe life deeply, you realize that many answers are found in the simplest things. Health is not always hidden in something far away. Very often it is present in what is already around us, waiting to be used with awareness. Tea is such an example. Practical, accessible, and deeply supportive. For seniors, this simplicity is important. With age, routines should become lighter, not more burdensome. If health requires too much effort, too much money, or too many steps, it becomes a source of stress rather than relief. Tea, however, offers a different path. It does not demand a heavy schedule. It does not require advanced knowledge. It is simply water, leaves, and awareness. Anyone can prepare it. Anyone can benefit from it. When we say tea is practical, we mean that it fits into daily life without resistance. It is not an extra burden added to the day. It can be taken in the morning as the first warmth after waking. It can accompany meals, supporting digestion. It can be enjoyed in the evening, calming the nerves before sleep. There is no need for special conditions, only a cup and hot water, and yet this small act, repeated consistently, has the power to bring long-term benefits to the body and the mind. Accessibility also means affordability. Unlike many health practices that require large investment, tea remains one of the most economical ways to support wellness. A small amount of leaves can provide many servings. Seniors, who often live on limited resources, can rely on tea as a form of daily nourishment without financial strain. Health, after all, should not be reserved for the wealthy. It should be available to everyone. But accessibility is not only about money. It is also about understanding. Some health methods are so complex that they confuse people. Tea, on the other hand, is clear. Boil water, steep the leaves, drink slowly. This clarity makes it easy for seniors to integrate tea into their lives without needing to remember complicated steps. The simplicity itself becomes part of the healing. The practical nature of tea also lies in its variety. Not every senior has the same needs. Some need more energy, others more relaxation. Some need help with digestion, others with circulation. Nature provides many kinds of tea, each with its own qualities. Green tea awakens gently. Herbal teas calm, ginger tea warms the body, and peppermint soothes the stomach. This variety makes tea adaptable to each person's condition. Seniors can experiment, listen to their bodies, and find the teas that best support them. Another practical aspect of tea is its safety. Many medicines carry side effects. A pill may help one organ but burden another. Tea, when consumed wisely, is gentle. It rarely harms, and it usually balances. Of course, moderation is important, but compared to many artificial solutions, tea is a safe companion for daily life. This safety builds confidence. Seniors do not need to fear tea. They can embrace it as a friend. Tea also creates opportunities for connection. Drinking tea is not only a solitary act, but also a social one. Seniors can invite family or friends to share tea, creating moments of warmth and conversation. These moments are medicine in themselves. Loneliness is one of the greatest challenges of aging, and tea becomes a simple way to reduce it. A shared pot of tea means shared time, shared presence, shared life. Practical health is not only about the body, but also about the bonds that keep the spirit strong. There is also the practical rhythm of tea. Unlike a pill taken in seconds, tea requires a little time. Water must be boiled, leaves must steep, and the cup must be held. These small pauses are valuable. They slow life down. They create space for reflection, for breathing, for gratitude. For seniors who may feel pressured by medical appointments, treatments, or worries about the future, this pause can be deeply healing. It turns a simple drink into a ritual of presence. Accessibility also extends to culture. Tea is known and accepted across the world. Whether in Asia, Europe, Africa, or the Americas, tea has a place in daily life. This universality makes it easy for seniors everywhere to embrace tea without resistance. It does not feel foreign. It feels familiar. A health practice that feels natural is much easier to sustain than one that feels forced. Let us also remember that practicality means continuity. Health does not come from what is done once. It comes from what is done every day. A single cup of tea may not transform a life, but a cup taken daily over years can keep the body hydrated, the blood flowing, the mind calm, and the spirit steady. The power of tea lies not in intensity, but in consistency. This is what makes it a perfect companion for seniors, small, steady support that accumulates into real change. So when we speak of tea as practical and accessible, we are speaking about more than convenience. We are pointing to a philosophy. Health is not about chasing after something extraordinary. It is about honoring the ordinary, the everyday actions that sustain life. Tea embodies this truth. Simple, affordable, familiar, and effective. It allows seniors to take control of their health in a way that feels natural and empowering. In the end, the beauty of tea is that it reminds us of a deeper wisdom, that the simple things done with presence often carry the greatest power. A cup of tea does not demand anything extraordinary. It only asks for attention, for care, for a moment of stillness. And in return, it offers warmth, energy, calmness, and connection. For seniors, this is perhaps the most valuable gift, to know that health is not far away, not hidden, not unreachable. It is in their hands, in their cups, in their daily life, practical, accessible, alive.